Raw video versus regular video formats. Which one is best? Gather your village people. Let's talk about it. Now, this video is not to settle any argument between raw and other video formats. Which one is better, which one is stronger, which one is best. The aim of this video is to inform you so that with that information, you can make the right choice for yourself. Simple as that. Because in the real sense of things, video format is determined by what you need the video for, what you're making the video for. There are certain videos that will require you using RAW, and there are certain videos that would actually never require you using RAW. But understanding why RAW is given such preference will help inform that decision at the end of the day. So let's get into it, shall we? To understand RAW, we have to get back to how videos work. I've explained that in a previous video, but let's touch it a little bit now. Cameras capture light, but that light is captured as data. So that data is processed by the image sensor into an image or a video at the end of the day. Now, but what conventional cameras produce for you or give to you is not the data. They give you a processed video. That processed video, either they come in ProRes HQQ or they come in H.264 or H.265, they are compressed. Not high-level compression though, because they still retain a large form of data and quality, but they are compressed nevertheless. So when you record a video, say with your Sony FX3, at the end of the day, what you get out of that camera to edit is already compressed, but not a high-level compression, because that data has been processed by the image sensor and converted into a video format, mostly using the H.264 codec, which is a codec that compresses the video data while still ensuring that quality is maintained. Now, RAW, on the other hand, is an uncompressed video format. So what RAW is that the camera receives that data, that light data, processes it, and gives it back to you as data. So with RAW, you have higher data level. As a matter of fact, with RAW, you have raw data. So the data is uncompressed. It's more like the camera doing garbage in, garbage out. And that's the reason why, unless you have a raw media player, you cannot play back a raw footage. You take a raw footage, maybe R3D from Red or Blackmagic RAW, you can't play the way you play a video from an FX3. Because with the RAW, what you have is not entirely a video file. It is video data. Now you import that file to an editing software. And when you import it to an editing software, it decodes that data and gives you a video playback. The advantage of that is this: because it is data as captured by the camera, it retains a lot more information and detail than every other format. The pixels are uncompressed, the colors are uncompressed, everything is data as it is. Now, what are the advantages of RAW? Number one is more data. And of course, you know, more data equals more detail. So with a RAW file, you have higher level of details in your footage. Because of the level of data that the camera is giving to you, you have more detail, more depth in your image. Number two, more flexibility. With RAW, you have a whole lot more flexibility than you have with other codecs or other recording formats. How do I mean? With RAW, because it is still data form, you can change things like your ISO, your white balance, and your exposure in post-production. So when you take a RAW file into an editing software, say like DaVinci Resolve, and you realize that your ISO is not as you want it to be, say you're supposed to shoot at 200 and you shot at 400, you can change it. Yes. And it will actually not be just increasing exposure or reducing exposure. It will really be the ISO as you had it in camera. You will change the ISO number and it will affect the image as it would have affected it in camera. Why? Because the camera actually gave you back the raw data of your camera settings, the raw data of the video, just as it is. You can also change your white balance. Say you use the 4500 when you're supposed to use a 3200, you can adjust it. The image gives you back the camera settings as it is in the camera. If your ISO goes up to 12800, it will give you up to 12800 for you to pick from. If your white balance goes up to 6500, it will give you up to 6500 to pick from. Raw data. That's absolute flexibility, and that's the reason why on professional levels they prefer RAW, so that you don't take chances. And of course, finally, it gives you better image quality. With all of these that I've mentioned, you can already tell that RAW gives you better image quality than any other video format. And so that makes it a better option. But then what are the disadvantages of RAW? Number one, large file size. You see, to shoot RAW, you have to have enough space. And when I say enough space, I'm not talking small space. I'm talking enough. Because what the camera is giving you is uncompressed data. It is extremely large. So with a raw file, you can be seeing that a 30 seconds video can go upwards of like 20 gig, 30 gig to 50 gig, depending on the camera. So the file is extremely large. So if you don't have space, forget about RAW. It's not for you. Number two, RAW is not for everyone. Because of the level of flexibility it gives you, it is absolutely manual in every sense of the word. And so if you're just coming up and you don't know how to work on your images properly, don't shoot RAW. You have no business shooting RAW. Wait until you know enough about images and how to edit them, how to touch them. You know enough about videos, how to edit, color grade and all that before you use RAW. Because if you don't, at the end of the day, you would actually not be able to use the files. You'll not be able to. It will just not appear well on your... You'll just be wasting your time and space. And then finally, RAW requires high power PCs and high power computers. If your computer is not very strong, you cannot use RAW because it is absolute data. Just the playback alone is going to drag the graphic card or the graphic memory of your computer dramatically. And so if your PC is not high power, if your PC does not have a lot of power behind it, you cannot effectively use RAW. To use RAW, you have to get a very strong PC. Else, you will be in big trouble. So, before you think of filming RAW, make sure you consider all of these factors. Consider the advantages and consider the disadvantages. If the advantages outweigh the disadvantages for you, then go ahead and use it. But if the disadvantages outweigh the advantages for you, calm down, wait until you find a way to balance it. Is that okay? Let me know in the comments your worst experience shooting RAW. That'll be all for this video. Until the next video, don't forget to continue to learn, create, until you become.